Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi, salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Perkenalkan, nama saya Viagian Pastawan atau bisa dipanggil Viga. Saya merupakan salah satu dosen di program studi Ilmu dan Industri Peternakan Fakultas Peternakan Universitas Gadjah Mada. Pada kesempatan kali ini saya akan menunjukkan salah satu bentuk Tridharma perguruan tinggi, yaitu pendidikan dan pengajaran pada mata kuliah Ilmu Desain dan Teknologi Kulit melalui subtopik pengajaran tentang pengawetan kulit. Dan kemudian capaian pembelajaran mata kuliah untuk mata kuliah Ilmu Desain dan Teknologi Kulit meliputi yang pertama yaitu mahasiswa mampu memahami tujuan dan pentingnya ilmu teknologi kulit. Yang kedua, mahasiswa mampu memahami karakteristik kulit segar dan kulit samak. Yang ketiga, mahasiswa mampu memahami penggunaan bahan samak kulit sesuai dengan tujuannya. Yang keempat, mahasiswa mampu memahami tentang pengujian kualitas samak kulit. Dan yang terakhir, kelima, yaitu mahasiswa mampu menerapkan teknologi bersih penanganan limbah industri penyamakan kulit.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon exactly in Indonesia, and good afternoon also for you all participant in Zoom online meeting. So for this session, we will talk regarding the bio-based preservation of skin or hide for the sustainable method for support the tannery industry. Okay, so the raw skin or hide are animal byproduct that have not been tanned yet by preserve, use a tanning agent, and etc. And the skin or hide used as a raw material for leather craft, typically from livestock, sheep, buffalo, and or cattle. The method of selecting material in skin processing depends on the shape and the proposed final product. Okay, the skin or hide must first be processed, therefore they are ready to be used as raw material for leather craft by leather or tannery processing. Okay, and before we process the raw skin or hide, I think we need also to know how to handle it. Okay, so maybe first from the slaughterhouse, the skin and or hide, we need to take it first and then clean it up. Maybe the first step is we need to fleshing or flesh or remove the rest of any fat, any meat that still attached in the flesh side of the skin or hide, and then we can get the totally clear of skin or hide. And then the second step in this how to handle the skin or hide from animals is excess skin is removed from the freshly peeled skin using a sharp and curved knife. So commonly in Indonesia we use a knife to remove all the meat and also the rest of fat from the skin. But actually in the industry, in the tannery industry, we use a fleshing machine, okay, to remove all the dirty parts from the skin or hide. Okay, and then we need to wash the skin or hide, and we can next for the further process. And after the washing of skin or hide, we can drop the hide of a drying rack and let the water drip for maybe 30 minutes or 1 hour. Okay, and then before the preserving of fresh skin or hide from the slaughterhouse, they must be wet, and I think this is the important thing to monitor the amount of weight loss after drying in order to control the rehydration. Okay, so we coming to the skin or hide preservation. Okay, actually there are 3 common type of skin or hide preservation. Okay, but before we talk about the common method of skin preservation, I think the purpose of skin or hide preservation is to maintain the skin chemical composition, okay? Particularly its protein. What is the protein? I think you all know. We need to maintain, we need to preserve the what we call collagen, okay? And protecting it from contaminant, from microbes or from the temperature and etc. And generally preserving the skin's quality, okay? So this is the purpose, this is the principle of skin or hide preservation, is to maintain the quality of that skin or hide similar with the skin or with the fresh skin or fresh hide from the slaughterhouse. Okay. Okay, during the long-term storage and transportation activity, we need the preservation because timely and adequate curing should be ensured. That is to maintain the collagen content in the skin or hide. Okay, the collagen fiber structure of the hide and skin is not damaged. Is our main purpose. Okay, the main purpose in the once again, the main purpose in the preservation skin is to maintain the collagen fiber not being damaged, okay, for further processing, okay. Actually, we have two general process of skin. I mean, DMs of the processing of skin or hide is for the edible purpose and for the inedible purpose, I think, generally. Okay, so this is the known types of skin curing or preservation that we know. Okay, at least there are three common method of skin or hide preservation. Okay, for the first is drying. So we just let the skin or hide dry. Okay, maybe the water content is about 20%. Okay, so the principle of drying is evaporate the water content, okay, so the microorganism cannot damage the skin surface, okay. Drying is a method used to remove some of the water content using heat, so thereby halting microbial activity, okay, or inhibit the microbial activity in the surface of the skin or hide. And the second common method of the skin or hide preservation is pickling. Okay, so this pickling include in the beam house operation. Okay, and for the pickling method, we use the acid compound, chemical compound. Okay. Acidification is a method that involves treating the skin with acid to preserve the quality of skin. So we maintain the pH of the skin around, the 2, okay? The pH around 2. So again, the microorganism cannot grow, and we repress the activity of microorganism. Okay, and the third common method of the skin or hide curing is salting using a salt compound. Okay, this is one of method that utilize the hygroscopic characteristic of the salt. Okay, and from the hygroscopic characteristic of the salt, so they can pull out the water content from the skin. So again, the skin will get the low humidity, and the microorganism cannot active to grow in the surface of the skin or hide. Okay. Yeah, this is the steps for pickling preservation method. As I mentioned before, so the pickling method is part of the beam house operation in the tannery industry. So the step first is we need to wash and soak the skin or hide in order to get the water content include in the skin or hide, and then flashing the skin or hide to remove again the rest of meat, the rest of fat in the surface of flesh side of the skin or hide, and then we do a liming process. In this case, we use lime, okay, to increase the pH and to open the pores. Yeah.
Of the
To
skin.
open the pores and get the lime compound penetrate to the skin or hide, and then we can pull out the hair in the unhairing process. And after that, we next to the bedding process. In this case, we process the skin or hide using a enzyme, or we can say in this part we use the enzymatic activity, okay, to degrade all kind of protein, all protein, but except the collagen, okay, except the collagen. We need the collagen settle in the skin or hide, because this is the important thing, and to make sure the quality of the skin or hide. And next, after the bedding process, we move to pickling process, okay. So yeah, this pickling process just input the acidic compound, okay, to decrease the pH until pH of 2. So there are 6 steps for the pickling preservation method. Yes, for the salt curing or preservation, by using the salt in the skin or hide, for example, bovine raw hides that are commercially cured either with a high salt concentration of about half the weight of actual hide, or 95% of the saturated salt solution. And this is the conventional technique. I think in many countries use this method, okay. The conventional technique, very popular due to the availability of the common salt. We can get anywhere for the salt. In Indonesia, we call it a garam krosok, ya. It is also effective cost procedure, but it generates a huge pollution problem in the chloride residue, okay. By using the salt, we face another challenges that in the wastewater coming from the salt curing, we can get we obtain the salt residues, okay. So in one side, the salt curing or salt preservation is the most method that a tannery or maybe a small industry use, because I think the cheapest one and the availability of component that we can get anywhere. But again, after the process, usually we obtain the chloride residue in the environment. So this is other common type of skin preservation, okay, various methods for preservation of skin or hide, okay. We can see salting preservation, freezing or cooling, drying, using the chemical compound EDTA, natrium sulfate and kalium chloride, vacuum and radiation, antiseptic and antibiotic, PEG, and silicate. This is another common type of skin preservation. Yes, this is the biopreservation from two best source. Okay, the first biopreservation is coming from plant-based. Okay, in several journal, also several researchers do this method by using the plant-based as a biopreservation compound. We can get the part of plant using the leaf, root, oil, or even the nuts from the plant. Okay, to preserve as a bio-based preservation of skin or hide. Okay, and another bio-based preservation is microorganism based. So in this case, yeah, we use the microorganism to preserve the skin or leather. What microorganism? The microorganism that commonly used is type of bacteria. For example, maybe a lactic acid bacteria that we know they can produce the bacteriocin as a metabolite compounds, secondary metabolite compounds that can inhibit the microorganism activity, especially the pathogenic bacteria. So this is the plant-based used for preservation, and their phytoconstituent anticipated being responsible for imparting antimicrobial activity. So the principle for biopreservation is to inhibit, to maintain the activity of microorganism. Okay, the activity microorganism can damage the skin or hide, because you know the raw skin or hide contain so many organic matter that can be used by the microorganism to grow. Okay, yeah. By the plant based, we have several plant: Acalypha indica, Salicornia brachiaria, Moringa olivera, and etc. Okay, yeah. So yeah, this is the common plant source for preservation of skin or hide as a bio-based preservation. Divide into plant leaf from Azaridacta indica, Ficus hispida, Tamarindus indica, Solanum trilobotum, citrus lemon. By using lemonade, we can preserve the skin as a bio-based preservation. So we just buy from supermarket maybe orange or lemon, because this plant has acid compound. Yeah, this acid compound coming from the organic compound also, so we can use as a bio-based preservation because the acid condition of the pH from this plant leaf. Okay, and we can also use the plant roots, nuts, and oil from the Decalepis hamiltoni, Miletia pinnata, Terniatia sebula, and Allium sativum for the plant-based example. Okay, this schematic figure is referred to Sharma and Fupu 2023. Yeah, next, this is the bio-based preservation also, but coming from the microbial base. So the type of microorganism that we can use for bio-based preservation is Lactococcus lactis, okay, Pediococcus acidilactici, Halophilic archaea, Bacillus decenniformis. Okay, this is a few example from microorganism for preservation of skin or hide. From this sample, we can see, yeah, again the type of lactic acid bacteria that we can use for bio-based preservation. Okay, next, biopreservation using potential crude bacteriocin. Yeah, for this case, this study is our study, my study with my student. Okay, and we use the Lactobacillus plantarum and Limocilactibacillus fermentum as a lactic acid bacteria to preserve the sheepskin, okay, raw sheepskin, okay. The use of crude bacteriocin produced by Limocilactobacillus fermentum as a biopreservative can effectively preserve sheepskin. This method improves the chemical and microbiological quality of the preserved skin and produces environmental friendly liquid waste. Okay, in this study we perform the chemical quality, including nitrogen total and water content, and then total plate count, bacteria, total lactic acid bacteria, total coliform that may grow in the skin or hide, yeah. And we show the skin or hide as a figure. The skin or hide, or in this case the sheepskin, totally dry. Okay, totally dry. And until now, this research is around 1 year ago, and until now we still have a sample that, yeah, maintain the drying condition of the skin in the ambient temperature, environmental temperature. They can preserve. Okay, so this is our steps in our current research, how to prepare the stock of bacteria and then pre-culture the bacteria and then inoculate to the skin, okay, to the skin, and we measure the chemical quality, and we measure the microbiological quality also in the sheepskin, and also we check the quality of pollutant in the soaking water. So we prepare the biopreserved skin after 1 month. We soak the skin by 5 times of the weight of the skin, okay, 500% weight per volume, and we check the soaking pollutant as a wash water, okay, and we compare to the salting preservation, okay, yeah. So this is the result. This is the result of our research, and this research has been accepted but not published yet in a journal. Okay, so we show the water content 16 to 17%, pH around 8, okay, and the total solid as a solid content in the wash water below 10,000 ppm, total fixed solid below 5,000 ppm, total volatile solid also below 5,000 ppm, and total pet count is around 11 10 6 time, okay, coliforming unit per milli. This result is coming from Lactobacillus plantarum crude bacteriocin. Yeah, okay, this is from Limosil lactobacillus fermentum, okay, you can see. Yes, okay, this is our reference regarding this lecture and research, and yeah, thank you, terima kasih for having me in this today's lecture.
Assalamualaikum. I am Ashikur Rahman from Bangladesh.
Yeah,
my
Waalaikumsalam.
question is, for pickling we need strong acids, but as we know, natural sources of acids are weak. Can we, like lemon, are weak acids? So how can we use weak acids to preserve?
For the pickling method in this presentation, actually we use a chemical compound, chemical acid compound. For example, from sulfate acid or maybe chloride acid, we set the pH below 4, below 3, and we inoculate to the surface of the skin or hide, and make the pH of that skin that we treat also around 2, maybe maximum is 3. That we that's the method that we do for pickling method. And actually the pickling method is again part of the beam house operation in the tannery industry. So usually we use standard formulation for the pickling method. And maybe for the plant-based, like I mentioned before, we can use lemon citrus, for example, as an organic compound, as a low pH from the plant-based. We can, I think, check first the pH of the plant-based, that lemon citrus, and then we just spread the extract maybe for the from the leaf, maybe from that lemon citrus itself we extract the liquid, and we spread into surface of flesh side, skin or hide, I think that. Okay, thank you, Syafiqur Rahman.
Good, thank you. So I have a question regarding the materials. Is there any potential non-halal materials for preserve the skin? Is there any potential non-halal materials? Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So, is there potential non-halal bacteria to be used for skin preservation? Correct? Your question?
Materials, not only bacteria. No, I mean
Materials.
any
Oh,
materials.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Potential materials, potential non-halal material for skin preservation. Yeah, I think. Yeah. Actually, there are potential for non-halal compound in order to preserve skin. For example, maybe what? For example, maybe any kind from non-halal source. Okay, maybe extracted from any non-halal livestock that we use as a basic compound in order to preserve the skin. But in this case, in this study, okay, because of we use a bio-based preservation, either plant-based or microorganism. So I think from plant-based or microorganism-based preservation is I think halal, not coming from, not for non-halal purpose. I think that's Mr. Agung.
So basically, if we buy leather except from pig skins, is it safe to buy, regardless the materials that they preserve the skin? Is it? So is it safe then?
Yeah. For pigskin, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, so if we buy a leather skin from any from cows, from buffalo, it is safe because they don't use materials from non-halal things, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's safe. It's safe for us, for Muslim people. Okay. You just buy leather or finished leather from cow base or sheep base, not coming from a pig skin. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.